What caught mis ojos is Rashid Shaheed. I mean, come on, man. Rashid, 100 yards to the house after Mike McDonald called it, apparently, at halftime, saying, Rashid, you're going to take one to the house. So not only did he have a hundo to the house, he had 4 for 67 as well. I'm watching the film on him and his routes, and he's starting to understand it a bit more. Sam's starting to find him a bit more. This is something that we needed to see. Just like we need to see the run game just stay steady or continue to improve, you needed another big option for Sam Darnold. Cooper Kupp has been consistent all year. You need the big play of Rashid Shaheed. And on his the 33-yarder that he caught, JSN got him open there. Safety was cheating over the JSN side. He caught him in the zone. Safety stayed on top of JSN. The corner ran with him, opened up that side of the field. Rashid Shaheed, finally get him going and keep kicking him the rock.
Speaking of, I might combine this with a what caught my eye. I'll just do mine. Speaking of JSN, he had a pretty good block with Zach Charbonnet's run too. Like I feel like he impacts the game. We talk about him, obviously, just straight up his receiving yards. You're chasing history, cool story. But can you speak to just his ability as a blocker, his ability to just know at all times, seemingly know at all times, like what are people's responsibilities? What are you supposed to do here?
I think the whole receiving core. I think when you play in this offense, you have to block. And the bigger runs typically come because you have receivers getting on linebacker, safeties, and corners. Big boys got to do their thing. They get it. They start the car, right? They get it going and give you an opportunity. But those big plays typically come when receivers are being aggressive. And they take pride in it, right? If you want to be a good blocker, you got to want to do that. And some receivers don't want to block.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get to my other little one here. We'll keep it with the same. Sorry, I feel like I'm stealing one. I wrote this down as what caught my ear. Nicky Manwari post-game. Do you remember when he said, and I'm paraphrasing, I feel like this defense is so good, they're historic, but like people aren't really talking about it.
He said people are afraid to kind of say it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm so glad that you remember that exact line, because while I don't know that he was talking about we're better than the Legion of Boom, I don't think that's what he was saying.
No.
But that stuck with me. And I was thinking about it for the rest of the day, because I think that if I were in that locker room, the way I'd feel is this defense is so, so, so good. But the Legion of Boom and that 2013 defense and that era of Seahawks defense is on such a pedestal that people don't even have conversations about whether parts of this defense are better. Like, they don't even want to approach it. It's like, well, there's the Legion of Boom, and then you're competing for, like, huge gap second place. And it's like, okay, but what if our defensive line is better than that defense? Like, what if – so I think when he said people are afraid to talk about it, I wondered if there was a little bit of, like, he doesn't just mean, people aren't believing in us. He means a little bit of, like, we're so good that this defense that's on a pedestal that people are so afraid to challenge, like, what if we're just as good?
I don't think he was saying, what if we're just as good as the Legion of Boom? But I do think he's saying that the potential is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he sees how hard everyone works, how they execute. He feels the potential is crazy. Now, he's a rookie, right? He's, first time around. And
he was a tiny child in 2013. He doesn't remember that defense.
No, and all he knows is this defense and how they've been executing. And then you combine the numbers with what we're seeing. I mean, they're elite in a lot of phases of the game or phases of a defense. No, I think it's important to big up your teammates, man, because all athletes think they're better than what they really are, right? That's just how the game goes. That's how you stay confident or whatnot. So why not gas your defense up and walk and talk as if you are better than what you really are? But what they are is a top 5, top 3, top 2 defense in the league right now.
All right, what's next?
All right, what caught my eye? My guy Sam Darnold listened to me, and he took off and ran with the football. Did. I think it was it a game preview I did? Was it 4-down territory? I don't know what it was.
It was 4-down territory on, I think, Thursday or Friday maybe. And it was, what do you want to see more of from Sam Darnold? And you said, I
want to see him take off.
I want to see him take off.
Just take off and run every now and then. I'm not saying you have to be one of the elite rushers in the game and you're going for 100. I don't want that. I want you to be in harm's way all the time. But you take off, it adds a dynamic to this team. That's free money. And you're fast enough and athletic enough to do that. So when I saw him do it, it made me smile, warmed my heart. 3 rushes for 23 yards, a long of 12, averaged 7.7 per clip. Good job, Samuel. Taking care of the football for the most part. Did have an interception, but took off and ran.
Do you think that he just has previously, like, if it's just not part of your game, like, he's not a great runner? But I don't know, man. Like, when I see him do, like, I go to like week 1. There was like, it looked like a designed run, and I thought that would be so much more part of his game this year.
Oh, that was. It was they overloaded the left side.
Yeah, and it was a cool play, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Clint Kubiak in his bag," and then like they just.
No, I think that when
wasn't a thing.
When you're a thrower of the football, you want to throw the football. It's like in basketball, shooters want to shoot. They don't want to drive to the lane. I want to shoot. That's just part of his game. He's a quarterback, but he needs to tap back into that just a little bit.
All right, let's go to what caught my eye. I'm going to do a really boring one, but I've been tracking things that the Seahawks are bad with for a long time that they've been better at in the last couple of years. We've been talking a lot about pass pro, for instance, being better. Sacks this year are way down from what they've been for years and years and years here in Seattle. And third downs are steadily getting better. They were hovering around like 34%, sub 35% for years. And it was incredibly frustrating. They were 46% on third down in this game. I know you're facing a bad team, but I don't care, man. Like this, you faced bad teams in years when you were horrible on third downs. You just were bad on third downs for a long time. And I can proudly report the Seahawks are middle of the road. They're 15th. But you know what? That's an improvement from being 28th, 29th, and 30th. I've written so many postseason lists and postseason recaps and just those kind of like, yeah, so here's what we learned about the Seahawks kind of columns at the end of years. And I cannot tell you how many times I wrote for third down, bottom third of the league.
Well, on the other side, they're second when it comes to allowing third down conversions.
Yeah.
So they're just balancing each other out a little bit. But they are better. I think we look at third downs the same way we look at the run game. Like, just be average. Be average, and you have the chance.
And they're average.
They're average as heck.
And they're
now.
average. That being said, I would imagine that gets much better with more production on first and second down.
Yeah.
So.
And, that's the running game helping out a bit more. They rushed for 126, though. I know Sam had, 20-something of them things, but, and Vilas came in during garbage time and had 32. So really had 60, 70-something yards?
Here's the problem. I wrote my post-game article about how, it's frustrating that their singular focus was improving the run, and they're just not great there. But it doesn't matter. They're so good. This is the best Seahawks team I've seen since probably 2015. And then the Rams had a great running day, like an hour after I sent that in, and I was like, now I'm worried it's not. now if I could rewrite it, I'd go, but it might end up costing them. Like I can't decide how. This is what I'm saying. I can't decide how costly not being able to consistently, effectively run the ball will be for this team. If they can continue to dominate through the pass, then who cares? But
there's going to be a time where it's 32. And the game's on the line, and you got to run that ball. Can you be big in those moments? Like, the numbers don't have to be great or huge when it comes to rush yards. But in a moment when you need to run the rock, bow up, bodies hit the floor, make it happen. Can you do it?